Hey everybody, welcome to Kiki Loves Nigeria. Hey, it's me, your girl Kiki. So hey, today we are going to talk about. Well, first I want to welcome you to my show. I always forget about that part. I just want to jump right into it. I'm sorry, so I'm going to take my time and I'm going to do it right this time. I want to welcome you to Kiki Loves Nigeria. This is my live broadcast. And on my live broadcast, I like to talk about issues that affect the Repat community, the Repat and the expat community. Okay. So again, I want to take this time to welcome you. Tonight, we're going to talk about, well, this afternoon, we're going to talk about someone who went on a repat journey, and unfortunately, this repat journey cost her life. So this is like the second person we've talked about that cost their life, and this is like the third person we've talked about who went on their repat journey, and the repat journey turns into basically a nightmare. Okay, so I want to make sure I hit all the points. Again, my name is Kiki Loves Nigeria. What do? I do qualitative research, and I travel to different countries in Africa, and I just talk about those countries, and I also talk about different issues as they impact our community. Okay, I do qualitative research again that impact the repack community. I am a travel blogger, so I share my experiences as I travel around Africa. I plan to expand the countries, well, the continents that I go to. I want to kind of go outside of Africa and go to different places. So I plan on, slowly doing that this up and coming year. How do I get my information for my videos, for the research that I do? I use primary sources. I like primary sources because primary sources, you get more to factually what's going on. It gets rid of the gossip. It gets rid of the rumors. It gets rid of the innuendos. It gets to the facts. So I like to use primary sources. I get my primary sources from videos, comments, emails, interviews, conversations people have with each other, anything that is a primary source that one person said to another person or someone has written to someone else. That's how I get my information. And when did I begin researching these issues? Well, this particular topic, I began researching Carbonation-Ms. When I found out, well, let me back up. I've been knowing about Nature Boy for quite some time before he became Carbonation. So I've known about him for quite some time and I've watched him off and on. But I really didn't start researching him again, like following what was going on with him until I started doing this, until I heard about Miss Maggie Silva, better known as Mama Dia. When I found out about her, then I went back and I started really looking into carbonation again. And that's when, so I've been doing that for probably about a month now. All right. So I've been doing qualitative research for over 10 years now. And that's how I'm qualified to do this research because, like I said, I've been trained to do qualitative research. I've been trained to tell you what is a credible source. That's a lot of problems that people have when they don't know how to do research, but they think they can do research. They don't know the difference between a credible and a reliable source. They think all primary sources are created equal, and they are not. Because I was trained to do research, I can pretty much tell when it is a credible source and when it is not a credible source. So I use credible, I should say that, credible primary sources. All right. So let's see if we got any questions. So my cousin was on here earlier. Let me put her comment up. She says, "Oh, wow, I didn't know you knew about her. Welcome to my sector. Girl, this is a mess and it is sad." Yeah, this this is like a movement, you guys. It's this new age religious spiritual movement that's going on in our community, but a lot of people aren't aware of it, or either they're not talking about it. And it's sweeping out a lot of young people. They're getting involved in movements like this, and this is nothing more than an occult. That's pretty much what it came down to being. from what the research was saying. So since we don't have any more comments, so yeah, I've been knowing, like I said, I've known about Nature Boy quite some time. I didn't know about Mama Dia until Miss Maggie Silva until later on. And that's when I went back and started researching them again. So now we're going to keep going. So tonight we're going to talk about, her name is Miss Magdalena Silva. She goes by the name Maggie. Okay. With the carbonation, when you join carbonation, you get different names. Nature Boy will give you a different name. And one of the names that he gave Miss Maggie was Mama Dia. So you'll see me going back and forth between Mama Dia and Miss Maggie because her family seems to call her Maggie and her friends, but the people who follow her from carbonation will know her as Mama Dia. Okay, so we're going to talk about today how her repat journey turned into a repat nightmare. And it just happened to be in Mexico. So let me clear that up about Mexico. Mexico was not her repat destination. She was on a spiritual repat journey. Now, when you go on a spiritual journey, it often takes you to different places, to different communities, to different countries. So she went on this spiritual repat journey where she hooked up with carbonation. When carbonation left, she originally went to Belize, okay? She had no interest from what her family was saying in going to Mexico. She only ended up in Mexico because the group that she was with, which was carbonation, had moved to Mexico. So therefore she went to Mexico only because they had to go to Mexico. So that's how Mexico came into play. So Mexico was never her ideal, repat destination. Although Mexico is in the top 10 repat destinations for Americans who are repatriating or expatting, they are going to Mexico, but this was not the case for her. She was not doing this as like a expat journey or a repat journey. It was more about being connected with people who think like me spiritually, being connected with people who act like me, who feel like me. So that's how she got drawn into this carbonation. So it wasn't about Mexico. It was more about this spiritual journey I'm going on with these group of people. And these group of people are, they're down for this journey, this spiritual quest like I am. So I'm going to, join them, and wherever they go, I go. So this is how she wound up in Mexico. So if you got any questions, just go ahead and jump in because this is a lot. And if you haven't followed Carbonation or Miss Maggie or Mama Dia, this is a lot. So I want to go slow for you to make sure you understand. So if you got any questions, please just jump in there and ask. So they ended up in Mexico, right? So now they're in Mexico. Where I got my information from this story was, there was plenty of information about this story. This story was everywhere. So it wasn't hard to find, like Miss Janette Salters. Her story was extremely fine. The lady in Ghana, her story was hard to find. In the Stevenson brothers, it was hard to get information about their stories also. It was limited. But this story seemed to be out there. And I'll tell you why in the end. But if you've been following Carbonation, you know why this story is out there. So this story is pretty much out there. So again, I've been researching Carbonation and this story officially for about 3 months now. Now, I bet you guys are saying, okay, Kiki, so who is Mama Dia? Who is Miss Maggie Silva? Who is this lady? Who is Carbonation? We don't know any of these people. Well, you probably don't know any of them because the demographics of the age range that they target are not our demographics. That's why I was really shocked when I saw Mama Dia was a part of Carbonation, because Nature Boy, who is the leader of Carbonation, he does not gravitate towards middle-aged or older women. He wants young women in their 20s. He's in his 40s. He's middle-aged, but he does not have any interest in middle-aged people. Even the males who are in carbonation are not middle-aged. Eligio Bishop is the only one who is middle-aged. Okay, he is the only one. Everyone else is in their 20s. So that's one of the main reasons you probably don't know, is because this is a younger group. This is a younger sect who he targets, and they're on so different social media sites than what older people are on. Okay, they're on sites that I hadn't even heard of. I mean, it was not just Instagram, you guys. It's a site called Bingo. It's another site. It's these other sites that he goes on because he can't do his shenanigans on YouTube. He used to be on YouTube, but he got off YouTube because you can only do so much on YouTube. And the things that Nature Boy was doing, and what he was showing on social media, I couldn't believe he was getting away with that. So you probably haven't heard of him for those reasons. The demographic that he targets is much younger. It's like 20-year-olds. These women are in their 20s. Okay, like I said, he's in his 40s, and he's not on. He used to be on YouTube. You can find videos about him on YouTube, but he's not on YouTube like that anymore. All right, so I see we got some comments. So let's see, y'all. Travel Line says, wait, what? Nature Boy? Yeah, Nature Boy. You know Nature Boy, Travel Line. Have you heard of Nature Boy? But he doesn't go by Nature Boy anymore. You know, he goes by 3 God now. That's his name now. He changes his name, just like he changes the name of the organization. So now he's going by the name 3 God. Okay. Let me see what you say. Do you know who he is? Lodging in before an era. Mexican city's residents already complaining about him. Yeah, you know, but they got him out. The Mexican people, they got him out. That's what you guys, everywhere this man went, everywhere he took this cult organization, he was evicted. He was put out the country. Immigration made him leave. Immigration made him leave everywhere. He can't go anywhere because he's been kicked out of every country that he went to except for the United States, except for here. And, you know, he's a citizen. So, you know, he got to come here. The last I heard of Nature Boy was when I was standing 3 pretty Black women in one of those central. Yes. When he was stranded there. Yes. Okay. So, and they are pretty. She's absolutely right. The young ladies are very pretty. That's like one of the qualifications to be a part of it. You got to be pretty. Okay. You got to be young. You got to be pretty. And he tell you, he likes the fair-skinned ones. Okay. He'll take the dark-skinned ones, but he'll tell you he likes the fair-skinned ones. And guess what complexion Nature Boy is? You know he's not fair-skinned. But isn't that something? See, these are the mind games that these type of people play on you. Okay. So he got kicked out of Central America. Every country he went to, he got kicked out of Central America because of his shenanigans. So yeah, you got to be young. You got to be pretty. Oh, he doesn't want you to have any kids. If you got kids or if you got relationships, you got to leave all that behind to join him. But his name now, he's going by the name of 3 God. That's what he calls himself now. Hey, Misunderstood. She says, I hear so much about the Nature Boy, but don't know anything about him. I know Tasha, yeah, I know, on her paid app. Yeah, Tasha K did a series about them. So that's what I wanted to enlighten us about Nature Boy. Because Nature Boy, it's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. I have been out nights watching videos about Nature Boy and this organization. Okay. They call it a cult. People who researched it, some people call it a cult. Okay. But I'm going to call it an organization. I'm going to call it an organization. But people are calling it a cult. They're calling him a cult leader, and they're saying it is a cult. They're saying it's a cult. So let's finish. So let me tell you why they're saying this. Okay, so let's get to Mama Dia. So who is Mama Dia, Kiki? And why should we care? Well, first off, we should care because Mama Dia is a woman just like us. And every woman who watches me, pretty much, except for the ones who are just on here, just spying on me, but the ones who really watch sincerely, these women have been on some type of spiritual journey. They have some kind of spiritual connection. They've been on some kind of spiritual quest. So when you go on a spiritual quest, you become vulnerable to a lot of people and a lot of things. And people do not have your best interest at heart. Okay. A lot of these people will not have your best interest at heart, but your heart will be so open because you're on the spiritual journey. Okay. So that's why we should really care, because this could have been one of us. God forbid. This could have been one of us very easily. Because when you go on these journeys, you meet different people and you open up to these people and you trust these people. And this is pretty much what she did. She opened up to people and she trusted. She trusted. She put her heart and her hope in the wrong people. Okay. So Miss Maggie, she joined Carbonation in April of 2018. She was a native of Honduras. See, I didn't know she was from Honduras. I knew, well, no, I knew she was from Honduras. Okay. But I didn't know that's what she was a citizen of. I thought she was a citizen of the United States. But they lived here. Okay. I'm not sure if Miss Maggie lived here, but I know her kids lived here. But she hooked up with Carbonation, who are U.S. citizens, who are African American U.S. citizens who were traveling around Central America, spreading this new age movement. It was a new, to me, it's a new age spiritual movement. All right. So this is how Miss Maggie's finding out about them. People describe Miss Maggie's daughter, who's a beautiful young lady, describes her mother as a very amazing woman. Okay. And Miss Maggie began her spiritual journey when she was young. And that's what I'm telling you. Women, men who go on these spiritual journeys, you're on these journeys for years. There are years you're on this journey. You usually start when you're young, and you continue it throughout your life. And throughout your life, you'll go into these different ways of thinking, these different ways of acting, these whole different ways of just seeing the world. And this is what Miss Maggie was going through. She was going through a different way of seeing the world. So she wanted to surround herself with people who were thinking like her and seeing the world like her. And this just happened to be, she thought, Nature Boy and Carbonation. So Miss Maggie's on this spiritual journey, right, you guys? So she's moving to, wait, let me back up. So let me tell you about her journey. When she got on her journey, she met Nature Boy. We all know, no, we don't all know who Nature Boy is. So I'm about to tell you who Nature Boy is. So she found out about Nature Boy through social media. He goes on social media. He puts his teachers on social media. So she was watching it because that's what you do. You can't find this stuff that you're looking for in your community. You can't find it at your local bookstore. So what you do, you usually end up on social media looking for people who think like you, looking for people who eat like you, looking for people who like to go to the places you go to and do the things that you do. So this is how she ran across Nature Boy. And at that time, when she joined the organization, it wasn't called Carbonation, it was called Melanation. So what you got to understand is that this organization has changed its name several times, just like Nature Boy has. Mr. Eligio Bishop, that's his real name. He's changed his name several times. So you got to kind of follow it because he will change his name in a minute. So let me go back and see if we got any questions so far. All right, places and spaces. Unfortunately, these young people don't know about Jim Jones. No, you know what? They can't possibly. Dave or the rest of the cults. They can't possibly, because I'm sitting here thinking and I'm watching these videos and I'm watching how this man talks to them. Okay, my phone's ringing. It's across the room. I can't get up. I'm watching how this man's talking to them.
I'm watching how this man is treating them. And I'm sitting here thinking, why would you let somebody talk to you like that? Why would you let somebody treat you like that? Why would you let somebody tell you when you can eat? Because he told them when they could eat, which was once a day. He told them when they could sleep, which was certain hours of the day. And they did all of this. And I'm thinking, why would you do this? Even Miss Maggie was 59 years old. So she knew about Jim Jones. She knew about David Koresh. She knew about all of that. Well, I'm assuming she did. Why would she join? And that was the thing that kept bothering me. Why would this 59-year-old woman, why would she join this man who has this group of young kids? Because their 20-year-olds are kids. Those are kids. You got 20-year-old kids following you. And these are not only females, all males are in the 20s too. He's the only grown one there. He's the only grown adult there. So they're all worshiping him and following them. And then Miss Maggie comes, and I'm wondering why. Why did you, what was it that compelled Miss Maggie to join this sickness? Because I'm sorry, you guys. I said I wanted to try to be neutral, but I can't describe it any other way than what it is. This was a sickness. This was not about spirituality. This was about destroying you as a person and getting you so broken down that you're going to follow me and you're going to do everything I tell you to do because you're going to believe in me. And this is what was going on there. So I couldn't understand why she would join. But when I was doing my research, I was listening to this one gentleman who's an occult lead. He studies occults. And he said, anybody, this is the part that shocked me, y'all. He said, anybody can become a victim of a cult. Anybody can become a victim of these people. And I'm like, why? How? But what happens, you guys, we become vulnerable. At certain parts of our lives, we become vulnerable. He said, when you have a death in your family, like when my mom passed, when you have when you get a break, your relationship breaks up, anything that's traumatic for you, anything, depression, mental illness, anything like that, a sickness that comes on your body, that's bothering you, anything like that you're going through some kind of transition. He says that's when you become vulnerable to these type of people. And it had to be something Miss Maggie was going. It had to be some type of transition she was going through, which made her vulnerable to this type of man. Because this was a grown man. This is not a child. Eligio Bishop, Mr. Bishop is not a child. Kiki, you are a good storyteller. So I hope you go deep into these. I am, because I want you to understand who they are. Because I couldn't believe it. But some of the stuff was so vulgar, misunderstood. I had to leave it out. I had to leave it out because, for one, it was just too much. And I couldn't repeat those things out of my mouth. I was not going to sit here and say those things. So some of it, you got to go look it up because I can't say it. It's too bad. It's too bad. It's extremely bad. The nation of Yahweh is another. They always end badly. They always end badly. Somebody else was in the, guess what? Places and Spaces. You're not going to believe it. Miss Maggie, who we're talking about, guess where she started it? With the Yahweh people. She started with them. Yeah, she started with them, and then she went to carbonation. You see what I mean? How when you're searching, you got to be careful. You got to be careful because you don't know what spirits are out there. And these spirits are pretending to be whatever you want them to be. They will pretend to be whatever you want them to be until they get you. And then they show you who they really are. So she was with the Yahweh people. Then she left the Yahweh people and she hooked up with Carbonation. So you're absolutely right. Isn't he? Yeah, he's in jail now. Yes, yeah, he's in jail now. Eligio Bishop is in jail now with no bail. He cannot get out. He cannot get out. This is this is how horrible this person is and the things he's done, that our government has finally said enough is enough is enough. But misunderstood. You know what I didn't understand? How did he get away with it for so long? How did he get away with this for so long and we did nothing? I was wondering what was going on. Well, but maybe they didn't want to cause an uprising because he's got a lot of followers. You guys, this man got a lot of followers. A lot of followers. He's on social media and these followers are everywhere. You wouldn't even know who his followers are. Like, who would suspect that Miss Maggie was one of the followers of Nature Boy? Who would suspect that? I know I wouldn't. I know I wouldn't. But yeah, he don't have any bail now. He cannot get out. He's still trying. I would have been out when they said eating, eating once a day. You can only eat once a day. You can only sleep, I think, between like 4 and midnight. Okay. After between 4 and midnight, you can sleep. From midnight to all the way up to 4 o'clock the next day, you got to stay up. He controls all that. That's why they would be up all hours of the night making videos. Because I was wondering, y'all, what was going on in their house? The neighbors would be sleeping. This was when they was in Georgia. They would always call the police on them for playing loud music in the middle of the night. And I'm thinking it's just on the weekends, but no, when I be watching these videos of them, it would be in the middle of the night, every day of the week. They'd be in there having some type of like party. He'd be on social media making these videos, making people think he's having some type of party. But there was no type of party. These people were not happy at all. These people were suffering. These people were suffering. Yeah, it's crazy, places and spaces. It is really crazy. Well, some of them came out alive. Miss Maggie didn't. Miss Maggie didn't come out alive, but the young people, they're still there. Some of them have left, but a lot of them are still there. So his name is Eligio Lee Bishop. I hope I'm not saying his name wrong. He goes by the name of Nature Boy. So you might hear Nature Boy, you might hear Baba G, or you might hear Three God. These are the names that these people have to call. Okay, the women have to call him that, and the men have to call him that. Remember, he has men and women who bow down and follow him and kiss and rub his feet. And I mean literally kiss and rub his feet. 20-year-olds. This is a 40-something-year-old man. All right. He has several social media sites where he spreads his prophecies. He promotes this word and he promotes his spiritual organization. Like I said, Nature Boy currently goes by the name of Three God, and the organization is presently called Carbonation. When Miss Maggie joined, it was called Melanation. You may hear Melanation, you may hear Carbonation. So let's talk about Mr. Bishop. Exactly who is Eligio Bishop? Who's Nature Boy? Who is Three God? Who is, what is the other name they called him? Baba G. All right, let's see who he is. So, of course, government's going to come with your criminal record first. So the first thing I found out they wanted to talk about was his criminal record, you guys. So let's look at his criminal record. Allegedly, I haven't seen the criminal records. I haven't seen the arrest sheets. So I'm going to say allegedly till I see them. So allegedly, this man is being convicted of forcible entry, theft, and aggravated battery, and driving with a suspended or revoked license. So I'm thinking it's going to be so much more because of all of the shenanigans that he does. But no, this is all his criminal record has. And this isn't really like a terrible, terrible criminal record. So from what we can see, let's gather what we can gather about Nature Boy. Nature Boy will break into your house. Nature Boy will steal from you. And Nature Boy will beat you up. That's pretty much what his criminal record is telling us. He'll beat you up and he'll steal from you. And guess what? And that's pretty much what he's been doing in Carbonation. He's been stealing from them and he's been assaulting them. So see how your criminal record kind of reveals kind of who you are. So let's go. He drives with a suspended license also. So let's see his professional background. This was, I thought, was really interesting. Nature Boy was a former barber. Mr. Bishop was a former barber. He was a model, and he was a happy escort. You know what I mean? He was a gay, happy escort, allegedly. Okay? He was a stripper, and he was also an adult movie star. Now, the funny thing is, none of these lead you to think this man is going to become a cult leader. It doesn't even say, and when you're researching him, it doesn't even explain how he went from being, it looked like he was into the adult industry, the adult entertainment industry. That's what his background looks like. He was an adult entertainer. So I don't understand how an adult entertainer made that leap from adult entertainer to cult leader, and a very effective cult leader, because he's a very effective cult leader. And if you've ever seen Nature Boy is a nice looking young man. Well, he's not a young man. He's a young man. He's 40 years old. He's a middle-aged man. Nature Boy's a nice looking man. He's not bad looking at all. So I could believe he was a model and all of that, because he looked like he could have been those things. But I just don't understand how you went from there to there. But there's one thing those two professions have in common: charisma. You got to be very charismatic to do both of those and do them well. Nature Boy is very charismatic, and we're about to find out. Okay, so according to Nature Boy, the ideal place, now this is important because this is what led Mama Dia to go to these different places. The ideal place for you to heal your body, the ideal place for you to become one with yourself spiritually, the ideal place for you to connect with him, because the ultimate goal of Carbonation and everyone in Carbonation, it was to connect with him. Because when you connect with him, you connect with the Most High God. You see, Nature Boy is God to his members. So anybody who's a part of this organization, you don't worship the Most High God. You worship Nature Boy, because Nature Boy is God. It's the human representation of God. So whatever he says is good for you, is best for you, is righteous for you, that's what you're going to do, and that's what you're going to believe. So Nature Boy told everyone, his followers, that if you want to connect and you want to be grounded, because grounding is where you connect with the earth. Okay, and to be truly healed and be truly at one, you had to connect and you had to ground with the earth. And he felt like the idyllic location for this was in Latin America. All right, so that's why you see him moving around Latin America, because in his mind, this is what they're saying: Latin America is the ideal place for this grounding and for this connecting with God because of its warm climate. The only problem was, now if you go to Latin America, don't you think you need to speak Spanish? Don't you think somebody on your team, somebody part of your organization needs to speak Spanish? Nobody can speak Spanish. No one. Not a soul. So this was a big problem. This was one of the biggest problems that they ran into, that they couldn't really communicate with anybody there because they couldn't speak Spanish. But by this time, people had started complaining about Nature Boy and his crew. All right. So let me see if we got any questions. It doesn't look like we do. So for now, we're going to talk about his names because, like I told you, this man changes his name all the time. When I wasn't ever following him like that, but just following what his actions and what he was doing because it was interesting to me because I couldn't understand, like I said, how this man does what he does to you. He literally, let me explain, give you an example. When the women come there, let me put that stuff right here. When the women come to Carbonation, these young ladies, you are Eligio's wife. Eligio will take you as a wife, okay? Eligio will do whatever he wants to do with you intimately, and he films that. And he tells you this is for educational purposes. And I'm going to show this video of you and I being intimate and you doing whatever I tell you to do intimately, whenever I tell you to do it intimately. I'm going to film all of that. And then I'm going to put that on numerous adult websites because it is my goal to educate people on how to be intimate and how to love each other. And these women agree to it. They agree to this. And not only is this intimacy with the women, this intimacy is also with the men. Yes. Yes. So these women are knowing this. They're knowing this. Not only are you going to be in a polygamous relationship. Oh, I don't know if I told you guys that yet. Yes, these are polygamous relationships. I wouldn't even call this polygamy. Polyandry. I don't know. I don't even know if there's a word for that. They're sleeping with everybody in the house. But Eligio Bishop is orchestrating out who sleeps with who. He sleeps with everyone there. But he tells the other people who they can be intimate with. Okay? This is what's going on in this house. This is why this cult is referred to as a intimate partner cult. That's what it's called. It's not called intimate partner. It's the other word. It's the 3-letter word that starts with an X. That's what this cult is referred to. A polygamous 3-letter word that starts with an S, cult. Yeah, that's what it's referred to because they are known for this is what they do. This is what they do. So these women who join this cult, they know going into this because Eligio Bishop has them record this. He tells them to their face and to your face because you're watching it. He tells them, you can leave whenever you want to. There's no one holding you here. You're free to go. So that's the part I'm confused about the cult. Because in most cults, you can't leave. They restrain you and you can't leave. He don't restrain these women. These women have left and they have come back. I have seen it, y'all, on video. I've seen it. I've seen them come to the door, apologizing to this man, begging him to take them back, telling the whole world, I want to come back. I like living like this. I like doing these things he tells me to do. He's not making me do anything. Yes. That's why I'm hesitant about to take what position to take about this whole situation. Because these women are freely doing this. Freely. These young men are freely engaging in this activity. Freely. Freely. And he's telling them, you can leave anytime you want to. Anytime you want to. But they don't leave. Miss Maggie, you can leave. She could have left anytime she wanted to. Anytime. But she didn't leave. She didn't leave. This is the type of organization this is. This is what we're talking about here. This isn't really about spirituality. This isn't about veganism. This is about fulfilling the lust of our minds. This is about controlling people with SEX, pretty much. That's what it's about. And this is about controlling people with that. People who have no control over those desires. And I'm not saying that wasn't Miss Maggie. I'm not saying her, because I'm not saying that's what she was there for. But these other people and Eligio, that's clearly what they're there for. That's clearly what they're there for, because that's what it's all about. That's what the videos are all about. That's what it's all about. And then they throw in this polygamy. Then they throw in this veganism. Then they throw in this spirituality. But this is after he sits up there, you all, and he compares his wives' female body parts to each other on TV, on YouTube. He tells the whole world about them and lets other men know what they will and will not enjoy about this particular woman. And they sit there and they allow this to happen and say nothing. Then they'll get mad. I'll take that back. They'll get mad and they'll leave. They'll get mad because he's embarrassed them one too many times. And then they'll leave. Oh, y'all, let me know if y'all can hear me. I just realized my mic is not plugged in. So let me know if y'all can't hear me or not, because my mic is not plugged in. But then they'll get mad and then they'll leave. Then they'll leave. And guess what? Guess what? They'll come right back. They'll come right back. So let's see what comments we got. No communication. No, they don't have any communication. Hey, LA Sunshine. Yeah. So let's go on, y'all. Let's go on and finish talking about this. So the group, I believe the group started originally in 2016. It was originally called the Ethereans, and that's what I remember them by. This is how long ago I remember them, when they were called the Ethereans. And they were on YouTube then when they were called the Ethereans. But like I said, you can't find it now. You can't. YouTube must have took the channel down because you can't find them now. So after they were called the Ethereans, they moved to Melanation. After they were called Melanation, they moved to the name Carbonation. All right, so when you look for them, you can look for those 3 different names and you'll find out different things, because it's that different, like when they were the Ethereans, they were doing different things. When they were Melanation, they were doing different things. When they were Carbonation, they were doing different things. So each time they change the name, it's like he steps it up. He steps it up and he does something crazier than he did the last time. All right, like this Carbonation. What Carbonation is doing is just, it's just unbelievable. All right, so let's finish. So his, like I said, his real name was Eligio Lee Bishop. He goes by the name of Eligio Prada. Let me see. Now we're going to talk about the beliefs in carbonation, because before you can even understand what is going on, you got to understand this belief system that is present in carbonation. Before you make a judgment call on carbonation, you got to really understand what the belief system is all about. While everyone sleeps, I don't know. See, that's the thing, misunderstood. I don't know if Miss Maggie was participating in all of that. I don't know if she was. See, and that's what makes me question her value to Eligio. Because if you're not able to participate in his little sex orgies, oh God, yeah, I don't know if I was able to say that word or not. If you're not able to participate in his intimate parties, okay? If you're not able to do what he wants you to do intimately, it seems to me like you have no value to him. So that's why I'm wondering, I don't know. No one ever said if she participated or not. I don't know whether she participated, but she had to know those things were going on. Because if I know those things are going on, and I'm not a member of Carbonation, and she's a member, she's living in the house, she's traveling around with them. She was there when Velvet was there. And when Velvet was there, which was the wife, the little young wife with the baby, y'all, everything was going crazy then. So she witnessed all of that. So she had to know about these intimate parties and these exchanging of partners that he would do constantly. This was just a way to control and humiliate them. That's all it was. He controlled who you slept with. He controlled whether you slept with anybody or not. Because some of the girls, believe it or not, y'all, they were complaining that he wouldn't sleep with them, that they were waiting their turn, and he would not sleep with them. He was sleeping with the other women. That's what I'm saying. A cult, people are forced. The key word there is forced. I don't see these women being forced. I don't see these men being forced. I don't see anybody being forced. And I've been watching it for 3 months now. 3 months. Ask my nephew. He's over here. What am I doing? Watching Carbonation. And he's laughing because he can't believe I even know about Carbonation. Yeah. And I don't see people leaving. I see them leave. I see a couple girls get mad because they want to be the number one wife. And they leave because of that. But I don't see them leaving because he's humiliating them. I don't see him leaving because he's making them, and he's not even making them be intimate with more than one person. He suggests and they do. He suggests and they do. So he's not even making them do anything. So that's why I don't know. I don't know how extensive she was in what did she do? Everything? Because one time I saw her, she was at the waterfall with them. You know, and they all had on their little swimsuits. She had on her little two-piece. She was jumping in the water like they was, jumping in the water. Then I saw one time she was cooking. They were all cooking. They had, because they dressed very sensual and sexual. She had her, they all had low cut. She had her little low cut on too. So I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know how far she went with this. This Sunny. Hey, how you doing, Miss Elaine? Thank you for chiming in. So I don't know, misunderstood, how far she went. I don't know. It would be nice to know if we could know, but I don't know how far she went. But I know to be in that house, you have to do what Eligio said. I know that. I know to be in that house and live in that house peacefully, you have to follow Mr. Bishop's rules. And Mr. Bishop, which is Eligio Bishop, which is Nature Boy, which is Baba G, which is Three God, you did what he said, period. Because if you didn't, guess what? Those women, they would beat you up. I kid y'all not. I kid y'all not. I kid y'all not. They would get mad and say you were disrespecting him. And they would jump on the other girl, and beat her up. There's videos of this, y'all. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. It was one video. It was unbelievable. He made two of his wives, fight each other on the beach in Costa Rica. I believe this was Costa Rica. Fight each other. Like back in the day in the Romans, when the Romans had the Colosseum and you go in there and you fight, that's what they were doing on the beach in Costa Rica. Over him. They were fighting over Nature Boy. I'm not lying, y'all. I'm not making this up. I am not making this up. This is the organization that Miss Maggie Silva left her family to be a part of. And I kid y'all not. I kid y'all not. This is what he had those women doing. And the other women were on the beach refereeing the fight because he told them to. And they did. They did it. They could have stopped and said, no, I'm not doing it. But they didn't. They didn't. Their whole goal is to please this man. Their whole goal.
So we got a comment. Let's look at this comment, y'all. Miss Smith says, for a flesh of blood, we got to conspire powers against rulers of the darkness. Yes, we do. Spiritual wickedness in high places. You are so very. I gotta take that one down, y'all. You can't see me no more. You are so right. We do. We really, really, really do. And that's what we gotta understand. We gotta understand that when we are out there, and especially when we call ourselves trying to connect with God, that's when they're gonna come after you hot and heavy like this. This woman was out here trying to connect with God. She's thinking, if I connect with God, I'm going to be healed from this heart condition that I've had for over 30 years. She's had a heart condition. Miss Maggie's had a heart condition for over 30 years. Okay? We all know about Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi. He was in Latin America. We all know about him, right? We all know about how his diet was curing people. Well, they said it was. I don't know for sure. But they said it was curing people, okay? We know about that. So she's hoping that Nature Boy is telling the truth like Dr. Sebi. So she's joining. She's joining in spite of all the craziness, in spite of all the wildness, she's still joining carbonation, which was melanation at that time. So let's go look at the rules. So once you get there, y'all, so now imagine she's 59 years old. Alicia Bishop, 3 God, is 40. Everybody else in the house is 20, in their 20s. Everyone else is 20. So now she's in the house. She's moved there, right? So let's see what the rules were. So carbonation, this is the belief. This is what you got to believe to be members of this. You have to believe that we are in the end times. You have to believe without a shadow of a doubt that Alicia Bishop is the Messiah. Do you understand me? You have to believe Alicia Bishop, 3 God, Dr. What's the name? Baba G, Nature Boy, is the Messiah. You got to believe that. They believe this man is God. They believe this, all right? You have to believe that people of color, now this is another reason, rationale for all the movement. You got to believe that people of color, that it's necessary for people of color to live near the equator. That has to do with the heat, the melanation in our skin, and all of that is going to ground us and balance us out and heal our bodies. All right? But one thing I noticed, this man wasn't never trying to go to Africa. Did y'all ever notice that? Equator, why wouldn't you be trying to go to Nigeria? Nigeria right near the equator. Why wouldn't you be trying to go to Africa? That's what I don't get, y'all. Not one time did this man try to go to Africa. Not one time was Africa mentioned. And normally thinking like this, polygamy is legal in Africa. Why not go to Africa? These younger women, older men, you're not going to have a problem in Africa. Why not go to Africa? He didn't want to go to Africa. What was the issue there? Was it a benefit for him to be in Central America instead of Africa? They trying to say that it was because he felt like he could get away with his abusive antics in Central America. But come on, polygamy is legal in Africa, not so much so in Central America. Some places, yeah, but by and large, Central America is like America. So these are the things that make me question, why was he really in Central America? Why was he really targeting Central America? So let's finish. So he says living close to the equator is imperative for maintaining the health of people of color and maintaining our peace of mind. And I believe that. I tend to believe that too. Because I know when I go to Africa, I feel better health-wise, I feel much better. And when I don't go, like 1 year, I think I didn't go for maybe a year or 2 years, I didn't go.
And I could tell. I started getting depressed. I started gaining weight. I started just being an unhappy person. So I knew I needed to get there. I needed to get there and be in the sun. I needed to get there and just feel those heat waves, because the sun, when I'm in Africa, it just feels like the sun, like the heat just penetrates through my skin. It's just like a wonderful, warming feeling. So I tend to agree with that, what he's saying about being close to the equator. Um, Now, he says that we must leave Babylon. Who else y'all here called America Babylon? That you got to leave Babylon and go to the tropics if you want to have a natural and a healthy lifestyle. Who else preaches this same rhetoric about Babylon and to have a natural lifestyle, you got to leave America? Okay, so he also says you got to either be his version, not the regular version, but Nature Boy's version of the B6 diet. All right. So he says if you do all of this, you're not going to have sickness. You're not going to have mental illness. You're not going to have anything. You're going to be perfectly good health if you do all of this. There's no need for a doctor. There's going to be no need for medication if you do all of this. Okay. Nature Boy says, this is what he tells his members, and this is what they believe, that all mental illness, I'm sorry, not just mental illness, but all illnesses, whether mental or physical, are psychological. They're all psychological. So every sickness that you have, every mental illness that you have, every issue that you have within yourself, according to Nature Boy, it's all in your head. And if you do a B6 diet, move close to the equator, you can heal yourself. Now remember, Miss Maggie had what? A heart condition for 30 years. For 30 years. She wanted to be healed from that heart condition. She wanted to quit taking that medicine. She didn't like that medicine. The medicine made her tired. The medicine made her sleepy. She felt like the medicine was making her lose parts of her life because she couldn't do certain things because she had to sleep. So she didn't want to be on that medicine. She wanted to be free. So this is what drew her to him. That I can do this. I can be healed. I won't be a slave to this medication. So yeah, let me try this. Let me try this carbonation. Let me try Nature Boy and see if it'll work. But poor Miss Maggie, she had no clue what she was getting into. She had none whatsoever. So carbonation is a religious philosophy, and it's described as a mixture of different things. So to truly understand his teaching, you got to understand a whole bunch of different stuff. And a lot of people don't realize that. Nature Boy's teachings are things that he's put together. It's not like he follows Islam or Christianity or Buddha. It's not like that. It's like Nature Boy made it up. And he said, this is what it is, and this is what it's going to be. And if you don't understand all of these different teachings and beliefs, you're going to just believe whatever Nature Boy says because you're not going to know the truth because you don't know the truth about these different beliefs. So let me tell you, Nature Boy, they said Nature Boy's organization mixes religion, astrology, and New Age concepts. Again, it's a mixture of religion, which is organized religion, which is Christianity, Islam, Judaism. So it's going to take parts of that, right? Then it takes parts of astrology. So he's going to take parts of astrology, and you got to know astrology. If you don't know astrology, he's going to pull that over on you, okay? So you got to know astrology. Then he takes New Age concepts, which is spirituality, which is Ifa, West African traditional beliefs, which is Buddhism. He's going to take all of that and mix all that together. and call that carbonation. And that's what he's doing. So, Nature Boy is a charismatic, let me get this word right, authoritarian leader. Authoritarian leader. He is an authoritarian leader, okay, which makes him officially viewed as a cult leader. So they have these formulas, these people in the government, they study cults, okay? And they actually work for the government. So it sounds like they've been studying Nature Boy for a long time. They just haven't made a move on him. So they once they've labeled him as a charismatic, authoritarian leader, that was it. And labeled him a cult leader, he ain't getting out of jail. Because that makes you a danger. That makes Nature Boy has been labeled now a danger to our whole community. Okay? So now they've got him labeled, he's officially a cult leader. So this cult moves through Central America. Let me tell you the places he's moved through Central America, then I'm going to look at your comments. Okay? So these are the places he goes through Central America. Again, he thinks this is an ideal place. So he's been in Honduras, he's been in Belize, he's been in Costa Rica, he's been in Nicaragua, he's been in Nicaragua, and he's been in Panama. And guess what? He was kicked out of all those countries. Carbonation was kicked out, asked to leave every last one of those countries. Every last one of them, because it is alleged that his organization is a three-letter word, starts with the X. It starts with the S. Cult. It ends with the X. Yes. So everybody knows this cult is not known. He's not known for healing people. Okay, people. He's not known for healing people. He's not known for his cooking channel, for his vegan diet. He's not known for that, y'all. He's not known for his grounding techniques. He's not. This organization is known for their intimate activity. And how he freely talks about this intimate activity with these women, and how these women allow it. How these women, you will be watching him. I was watching him on a video, a live video. This one of his wives comes over to him and starts performing an sex act on him. I kid you not. I kid you not. Starts performing the act on him. And he just continues to talk and does his little lectures like it's nothing. Now, y'all telling me these people are being held hostage? This is not like Waco. This is not like David Jones. Was that his name? Who was in Guyana? That wasn't him. It wasn't like that. Those people could not leave. These people could leave anytime they want to. These women and men can live anytime they want to. He tells them. But do you think they leave? They only leave when they get jealous and when they get mad. Then they leave. So after these countries, okay, let me check these out. After these countries realize this is a S three-letter word cult, they said, oh, heck no, get out of our country with this nonsense. You're not bringing this over here. So they kick them out. All right. So when you join, this is another rule to carbonation. Let me check these comments so we don't get too far behind. Did we get them all now? No, let's get this one. I remember him from Facebook as Nature Boy years ago. He said he's okay with being naked. I wasn't even going to bring that up. But yeah, this is another thing he was doing. This is another sick, twisted thing he was doing in front of his own kids. There's videos out there of all of that, y'all. Some stuff I just can't talk about because it was too sick. Nature Boy is sick. This man lives out his intimate fantasies. You know how people will have sick, intimate, twisted fantasies in their head? He's living them out in real life through other people on social media. And these people are acting these fantasies out for him. These women are. These young women are. Yeah, I wasn't even going to talk about that, but he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right. There's witnesses. Nature Boy tell you himself he did it. Yes, he tells you himself that this is what he does. Yeah, I can't believe it, but it's true. It's really true. Miss Kiki, I can't even get my brain to analyze this. It is unbelievable that my people can be, yes. And that's what I couldn't, that's what bothered me the most, is I kept saying, how in the world could she be so gullible? How in the world could Miss Maggie be so gullible? What was she going through? Because when I'm gonna get to the part where he turned on her. And we don't know what all he did. We don't know what all was going on in that house because she wasn't saying, because you're not allowed to say. You're not allowed to have contact with anybody in the outside world. So once you get in that house, oh no, you can't tell them what's going on. If they find out you telling people what's going on, you gotta go. You gotta go. And like I said, them girls will beat you up. Them girls will beat you up. Them girls will jump you. He don't have to do nothing. Them girls will jump you. So I'm not sure how the state is going to prove their case. That's the thing. I don't know how they're going to prove their case when these women allow him. And the same woman who said he did all those things to him, to her, this same woman is on tape saying, yeah, you can put my videos out there. Yeah, this is educational purposes. Yes, this is what we do. We are intimate in front of the cameras. But when she gets mad or she wants to be intimate with someone else and Mr. Bishop says no, then she says that he raped her. So see, it's also, there's people being gullible and then there's people being manipulative going on. It's young women. I'm not going to, and I hate to say it like this, but they're being manipulative. They're thinking they can use this physical body to get what they want. Okay? They're thinking they can play this game with this grown 40-year-old man to get what they want. And when they realize they can't, they try to use the legal system against him. And that's when I'm like, who's the victims here? You know, it's like some people are victims and some people are actually predators. Some people are the actual predators. Some of these people are like the girl who's accusing him. I frankly think she's the predator. I think she's just as bad as he is. I'm serious. But Miss Maggie, I still don't know where she fit into all of this. I still don't know how she could live in a house with a man who sleeps with men and women, videotape it, say this is for educational purposes. You can only eat at a certain time, one time a day, and you can only sleep when he says sleep, which is a certain time of day. You can't talk to your family because once you join him, he's your family. But you're making this choice because he's making it clear. It's all on videotape. This man is very intelligent. He's covering himself. It is all on videotape. All of it. He even has Miss Maggie on videotape saying herself, I quit taking my medicine. I quit taking my medicine because I don't like the way it makes me feel. So then there's people saying, well, how is it his fault? How was it his fault? When she said herself, I quit taking the medicine. She didn't say, Eligio told me. She didn't say Three God told me. She didn't say Baba G told me. No, she didn't say that. She said, I quit taking my medication. So that's when I was like, okay, so really, what's going on here? Seriously, what is seriously going on here? What is seriously going on here? Costa Rica, yeah, they got put out of Costa Rica. Yes, yes, exactly. That's the kind of code it is. You're exactly right. That's exactly what it is. Oh, honey, this is how they got money. Places and spaces, you're not gonna believe how they got money. These young people who come there, they come from money, honey. They have money. The young people come, they take whatever money they have and they give it to Nature Boy. They give him their credit cards. They give him all of their money. If they don't have no money, then they have to be like a servant. There was only one person there who had no money. One video I watched, these young people were naming how much money they had given Eligio Bishop. 20,000, 30,000, 15,000, 12,000. They give it to him. When the PPP loans were out, all of them had businesses. So you know what they did? They got their little PP loans. They gave that money to him. And they proudly tell you, I gave my money to you. When they get there, he says it. How much did you give me? I gave you 30,000, Baba G. How much did you give me? I gave you 20,000, Baba G. How much did you give me? I gave you 10,000, Baba G. Nature Boy is sitting on money. They gave it to him. Miss Maggie, whatever she had, she gave it to him. Because that's the rule to be there. Whatever you got is his. It belongs to him. That's why they can't eat. They can't go out and eat. They gave him all their money. Now, how is that? Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? You see how he's covering his tracks. You see how he's covered. This man has covered himself. Even with Miss Maggie's death, when they tried to say it was his fault. No, no, no. No, no, no. Like he said, she's had a bad heart for over 30 years. She's on videotape saying, I quit taking my medication. She not one time said, Baba G told me. Nature Boy told me. No. And he's playing it. He's telling you. She's telling you herself. She did it. So yeah, he's covered his tracks, people. This is where he gets money from. They're giving it to him. They give him every single thing. Everything they own belongs to him. Well, that's what I said. I said, wasn't R. Kelly doing the same thing? I said, it sounded like R. Kelly. But it did. It sounds just like R. Kelly. What they was accusing R. Kelly of, it sounded like the same thing. But it sounded like R. Kelly was worse because them girls said they couldn't leave. But these women can leave places and spaces. I done seen them leave and come back, honey. I done seen them get mad at him. I done seen them get mad at him, run out, get their stuff and leave. And a couple of days, they're back. Begging him to forgive them. I kid you not. I kid you not. I kid you not. Hey, how you doing, Denise? Let me see. Denise know about him too. So fill me in. Whatever I'm missing, you fill us in. I made video about this some years ago. They were off. Yes, they were. They still are. They still are. They are really, really off. They bad, y'all. They so bad. They are so bad. You can't talk about it, but I can read. He was, yes, y'all. Yes, I kid y'all not. And spreading it all, spreading diseases all around. And they knew about it. They knew about it. Mama Dia, Miss Maggie knew it. She had to, and we know she had to have known. She had to have known about all of this. So my mind wonders why? Why would you go there? This man's not healing no one. He can't even heal himself. Prom TV interviewed his wife's girlfriend some weeks back. Yeah, they still are defending. Yes, they still are defending him, Musa. And Malia, the main one, that's the one that was fighting, that got beat up. That's the one he took. Oh my God, he treats her so bad, so bad. But she leaves and she comes back. She leaves and she comes back. Because what she says, I have nowhere to go out there. I have nothing out there. So I want to be with you. I think they really like being a part of his world. I think they like being on social media. I think they like being famous from being with Nature Boy. I really do. I really do. I think that's what it's all about. Because how could you defend somebody who don't even defend you? He don't even defend them. Trust me, he don't defend none of them. When Mama Dia, Miss Maggie's daughter, called Nature Boy about her mother's belongings. Let me drink something real quick. Y'all know what he said? First, they're refusing to give her any information, and they're refusing to give her any of her belongings. He said, your mother was dead before she got here, and you're dead too. Quit calling me about something that doesn't even matter. Can y'all believe that? Can y'all believe that? And this is the man that these women are taking up for, who's giving them all the same package. And I'm talking about that package R. Kelly made that video about. The package, y'all know what I'm talking about? He's giving them all that package. Because they all got the package, allegedly. Because they're all sleeping together and they're all passing it around. Yes. Yes. And it's unbelievable. Sounds like you said hard case to prove. It's going to be. That's going to be a really hard case to prove. I think they're just keeping them in jail just to keep people quiet. But I can't imagine him being convicted of that. I cannot. I cannot imagine him being convicted of what they're charging him with when you agree to the whole thing. You agree to the whole thing. Girls, because it's more than one of them in there at a time. Okay, it's more than one of them women in there at a time. So them other women were standing right there saying that's not what happened. She got mad because she wanted to be the number one wife, y'all. They get mad because they can't be his number one wife. So I wonder what Miss Maggie's role was in all of this. Because she's 59. He don't have no interest in her like that. He's not interested in her sexually. No, he like 20-year-olds. So what was her role in the house? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What was her role? What was she doing? So after she gave him her money, after she gave him her jewelry, after she gave him her credit cards, after she gave him her cell phone, after she gave him all of her belongings, what was her role? What happened? Like what did they talk to her? Did they interact with her? Or did they just treat her like she wasn't there? I'm tending to believe that they just treated her like she wasn't there. Because in their mind, she wasn't there. Nature Boy had no interest in her. The other one, the men didn't have an interest in her. They were interested in Nature Boy. Everybody's interest is in Nature Boy. Everybody wants to be with Nature Boy. I hope Miss Maggie didn't want to be with Nature Boy. I hope she didn't want that. Lord, let me go back to reading because I hope she didn't want that. Lord, yeah, it's going to be a real hard case to prove. Yeah, and a man named Mike Brown was helping fund the cult at the beginning of all of this. The rabbit hole goes deep on this. Okay, so Denise, tell us what happened to Mike Brown. What happened to him? And how come he don't have one of them fake phony names like they have? You know, like one of them silly names. She's at fault when she did that to him. In her own personal selfishness to, yes, to be, yes. I'm sorry, I can't even read it because this is exactly what I said. Hatred against the man. Yes, she's mad because she wanted to be the #1 girl, y'all. And so then she go and say he raped her. He raped her and he videotaped it and he put it on camera and he put it on an adult website. But y'all, this is what they do. This is the stuff they do. This is called education to them. She knows this. She agreed to this. Everybody who comes to this cult knows this and agrees to it. That's why I can't even freely call it a cult, because you can leave whenever you want to. It's just being a part of whatever he is. I don't even know what he is. I don't even know what it is. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, I bet she went to sleep. I gotta plug up this laptop. Beautiful. Okay, hold on, y'all. Let me put this one up. Monroe, come here. So apparently Pippin, no, it's not. It's not. Because that's basically what he was doing. And they was letting him do it. Thank you, Mr. Navigator, the navigator. This was, hey, who was that? Beautiful, come plug up my laptop. I know you heard me calling. Y'all think I should be doing me. She heard me calling her. Come plug up this laptop. It's going to go there. No, because that's what this was. To me, this was just a good case of pimping. You exactly right. Because when they pimping like this back in the day, honey, you can leave whenever you want to. They were not holding you hostage. They didn't have to. Them girls wanted to be there. Everybody in that house, male, female, all of them wanted to be with Nature Boy. They didn't care. And she got mad because she couldn't be the main girl. But again, what was Mama Dia doing in all of this? What was her role, y'all? And that's what her daughter kept asking. That's what her daughter kept asking. Before my mom died, what was going on? What was going on? Y'all know what I think was going on? I think they was just ignoring her. It's too much. Yeah, it's all too much. All of this is just too, and it's been going on for a long years, y'all. Years. Nature Boy yeah, he sure did. Yeah, he sure did. This is what he used to do. So he took those skills, okay? He took those skills. That's what Mr. Navigator said. Pippin ain't dead. And he just took them and he transferred them. And he got them all living in a house. He got them all giving him his money. And he doing it to men, and he got men and women following him, giving him money, giving him money, giving him money. He don't have to take nothing from nobody. He don't have to steal nothing. He don't have to put his hands on nobody, because them girls are gonna do it for him, okay? Well, yeah, it's just crazy. This is just that's why I told you I've been watching this for months. I think all or most of those cult leaders were with, yeah, I think most of them do go. They with both of them. They're with both of them. And it's like some kind of control. It's just some kind of, it's like I said, he's living out his fantasy. Whatever his fantasies are, he's living them out to other people. The women defend him like Daddy Rich Carton. Daddy Rich Carton. They do. But seriously, y'all, they will fight over Nature Boy in a minute. Y'all, they will fight over that man at the drop of a hat. They will fight over him. And when I tell y'all, he will sit up and compare their feminine body parts to each other in front of the camera and have no problem with it. No problem doing it. And they'll sit there and let him. He's done it. And they've done one time, let me tell you. because Nature Boy don't know what he want or who he want to be with. He had these women standing up there, and now he switched and he had a transgender man. He wants to be a woman. Transgender man, I think that's what you call it. Transgender man was now the queen of the cult. Do y'all remember that? You remember that, Denise? When he had this transgender man sitting up there. Yes. And all the girls were now bowing down to her as their queen. And she was the one that was now being intimate with Nature Boy while they were all waiting their turn. And he was telling them how much he enjoyed sleeping with the transgender more than them. Y'all, I kid y'all not. I'm not making this up. But where was Mama Dia in all of this? He really likes men. I think so too. And I think that because of the way he treats women. Most men who really like women, they don't disrespect women like that. And they don't talk about women like that. And they don't put women down like that. Now, if he's putting these young women down like that, how y'all think he treating Mama Dia? That's what I want to know. I want to know, how was he treating that woman? What was he saying to her? How was he treating her when she got in the household? Because he wasn't having sex with her. And the women he was having sex with, he was treating them bad. So how was he treating her? That's what I want to know. How was he treating her? He wasn't intimate with her. So how was he treating her? That's what the daughter wanted to know. That's what the daughter kept asking. Yeah, they're all sick and they're all misguided. But it seems to be a world full of sick and misguided people now. Yeah, it does. I believe he will be convicted because of the political atmosphere in the USA. Yeah, that part right there. But they got to convict him on something. You see what I'm saying? And as soon as they try to say he forced himself upon her, no, they're going to say no. And we got witness, because remember, these are multiple people in bed together. Okay. And we probably got it on video tape. So no, then we got the statement where she's saying this is what they do. They make these tapes for educational purposes. So I can't even imagine what they would possibly convict him of. I can't even imagine. Everybody's saying she left on her own, and they do. They leave on their own. If you watch them, you will see these women leave and come back on their own because they're mad because they cannot be number one. And the one you're talking about, she wanted to be number one. And when she could not be number one, she split to another dude. And Nature Boy was like, no, I say who stays together in this organization, and you can't be with him. So she gets mad, and then that's when she says, Nature Boy did all this, that, and the other. Mike Brown was behind the scene, and it really goes, I gotta figure out, I gotta see who is Mike Brown? Tell us who Mike Brown is. Was he make, oh yeah, did he make money? Did he sell the video? I know they were on websites. So he probably did, because some of these websites, I'm sure you got it. I bet you he made money from the videos, because, okay, send me some more information on it. Yeah, send me the stuff you got. Yeah, I bet you he did. Nature Boy made a happy adult movie back in the day with this fake, what? Oh, wow. Are you serious? See what I mean? This is him. This is him. So this is what this ain't about, no healing. This is not about no B6 diet. This is not about what she thought it was about. That's why you got to be careful. This was not about what Miss Maggie thought it was about. I can't even fathom what was going on in that house. How did she even live in that house? How? But they took her money. They took her money, remember? They didn't take it, she gave it to him. Yeah, that's what it was. That's exactly what it was, and that's what they were doing all the time. That's exactly what they were doing all the time and videotaping it. Yes, he did have a TS, a part of the team. Yeah, remember that? He sure did. And I don't know what happened to her. I don't know what happened to her. She was there, she was the queen, and then I guess she got tired of not eating, and I guess she got tired of not sleeping, and I guess she got tired of his, you got to stand there with your little finger over your eye for however long. I guess she got tired of that too. Because they come and go, y'all. They come and they go. Why not just stop living a polygamous lifestyle? He made a tree trunk part of the clinic. Yes. Okay, y'all. Let me tell y'all about the tree trunk. I ain't got to that part yet. The tree trunks. Let me tell you about them. So, Mama Dia was only with them from April to, was it July? June. April to June. She was dead in 2 months. Can you believe that? 2 months. She was there for 2 months. She died the end of June. The end of June. And okay, let's finish, y'all. Let's go back to this identity. How you get a new identity when you become a part of Carbonation. So when you join Carbonation, Nature Boy decides you need a new name. Okay, so he gives you a new name. You discard your birth name, your Babylon name, of course, is what they call it, and he bestows upon you a new name. Now, part of this new name comes, you have to release your attachments. Attachments are friends and family. All right. So anybody who's a friend and a family member from your old life, you have to release that attachment. And the way you release that attachment is you can't talk to them anymore. You can't talk to your friends and family. You can't have any dealings with the people that you've left behind. If you got kids, you got to leave them behind. If you got a husband, you got to leave them behind. Family, you got to leave them behind. Anybody who's a part of your former life before you came to Carbonation, you got to leave that person behind. Now, women in Carbonation, there's certain rules for women. This is, again, why I could not understand what role a 59-year-old woman would be playing in this environment, because he had no interest in this type of woman. He has no interest in a full-grown adult woman. So, women were classified as inferior to men. And that's the reality of Carbonation. We all know that, okay? Even the men are inferior to Eligio. Everybody's inferior to him. The women must be subservient, they must be docile, and they have to bear children. Mama Dia could not bear children. I don't know whether Mama Dia was subservient or docile. The videos that I've seen from her, she seems like a very nice, sweet woman, but subservient and docile. Most middle-aged women, they're not subservient and they're not docile, okay? Once you reach that age of adult womanhood, you kind of move into your own and you kind of speak your mind, okay? So, but I don't know. I don't know how that was, and I don't think from what I've been reading, she was grooving with that docile and subservient. She was not cool with that because she was talking to one of her friends, even though she wasn't supposed to. Now that right there lets you know, oh, she ain't doing what these little girls is doing. So when she got there, she probably was like, oh, I'm not doing this. Oh, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing none of this. So let's see, let's continue. Bearing children to Nature Boy is the only purpose of a woman. Once you cannot bear children, you don't have no more purpose in life. The woman must be willing to accept polygamy because Eligio lives a polygamous lifestyle. According to, allegedly, this is allegedly, I don't know for sure, they said Eligio explained that he got this whole concept of what a woman was and what men should be while he was in prison. Now imagine that. You in prison, and this is where you understand your concept of women and men. Now that's pretty bad. So, allegedly again, They say that Eligio uses intimacy to degrade women. Now, I'm not even saying alleged. I've seen it. I've seen him do it. I've seen him talk about these women like a dog in front, and he's talking about their intimate parts. Telling this one woman, one of them, how he didn't like it, how telling somebody else you're not gonna like it, and she just sitting there smiling. She just sitting there smiling. That's why I said good luck. Good luck with proving all of what you're saying, what they're saying about this person. All of that. Good luck with that. He also allegedly uses violence against women. I haven't seen him use violence against women. Oh, I take that back, y'all. Remember the video, Denise, where him and Velvet was in Costa Rica? I don't know if y'all seen. This one was bad. I don't know if y'all seen this one. But he was in a house in Costa Rica. Now just imagine. I'm going to set the stage. You hot. It's Costa Rica. There's no air conditioning. You're hot. You can only eat once a day. So there's no food. You hungry. A baby is crying. The baby is crying because the baby's probably hot too. So y'all sleeping on the mats on the floor because y'all believe in grounding. So everybody's on the floor sleeping. People sitting around trying to cool off. And all of a sudden, Eligio and Velvet, which is his wife at the time, start arguing. I can't even remember what they argued about because it was so traumatizing. Eligio literally goes up to this girl. They start fighting, okay? I can't remember whether he hit her. I don't think he hit her in front of the camera. The girl took the camera away, was filming this. But they go back into the bedroom and you can hear them fighting. You can hear hands being exchanged. You can hear the baby screaming. You can hear all of this. Boom, 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 baby screaming. It was unbelievable. And guess what? People in the house just sitting there, not doing anything. And this woman is saying, who's filming, do you think I should go back there? Do you think I should turn the camera on? Nobody stopped it. So yeah, there is proof that he's been violent against women. He uses the violence, they say, to control the women in Carbonation. I think he uses the violence to control everybody, because if he's violent against these women like this, I can't imagine him not being violent against these men like that if they rise up against him. Because see, Velvet would rise up against him. See, Velvet, after she had the baby, she would rise up against him. She left too, y'all. She's one of the people who's testifying against him about his mind control tactics. But mind control, I don't think that's a crime, okay? Just because you got in a bad relationship with a narcissist, I don't think you can send him to jail for being a narcissist, because she was just in a bad relationship with a narcissist. I don't know what they're going to get him for. I can't imagine, because like I said, these women were doing all this willingly. Everybody was participating freely. So again, Eligio, people say they're going there for spiritual purposes, for the vegan diet. That's the biggest thing, the vegan fake diet that you eat once a day. But you're doing these sex acts all day, every day. Okay? Whenever he wants you to, however he wants you to, with whomever he wants you to, and wherever he wants you to. So that's what it's really about. So they have this veganism diet, and they sleep between certain hours. And also there's allegations that these transmitted diseases are just spreading through this organization, like really bad. Like everybody is just sharing transmitted diseases. All right. According to someone online, they said 2 members have diseases that there are no cures for. They said that Eligio also tested positive for HIV. Now, you know, if Eligio tested positive for HIV, then you know other people in that group. have tested positive for HIV. But in all fairness to Eligio, he is saying that he is not HIV positive. He said he took a home HIV test and he is not HIV positive. All right. So let me finish this and I'll go to the questions. Okay. So, how does he do all of this? How does Mr. Bishop, a middle-aged, because 40 is middle-aged, a middle-aged black man, but he's a handsome middle-aged black man. I'm gonna tell you the truth. He's a nice-looking black man. He's nice-looking. He takes care of his body. He's a nice-looking man. Okay? This man, he uses his charisma, his good looks, and social media to get these women and these men to do whatever he wants them to do. And I kid you not. I kid you not. So what makes him so powerful is his online presence. All right. Like I told you, he's on different social media sites that I've never even heard of. They're new ones. They're like social media sites that pop up all the time. He makes sure, this is how smart he is. He makes sure he's on those sites. Because see, on those sites, you can get away with much more on those newer sites than you can with older sites like YouTube and Facebook. He's probably not even on there anymore because you can't do the things that he likes to do on there. So his group now, they say, have between 12 to 17 members, but he has thousands of online followers. And he does. He has thousands of online followers. Thousands, easily thousands of followers. Guess what else they said? They said not only does he have wives in this group who live with him, yeah, he has virtual wives. He has women who agreed to be his wives virtually. I'm not lying. I wish I was lying. Now listen to this. In 2017, Nature Boy had just been out of control. They was just out of control doing their shenanigans anywhere and everywhere. The BBC reported on him. The CBC, the Canadian version of the BBC, reported on him. Latin American news channels reported on him. Everybody was covering Nature Boy and Carbonation, except for who? Guess what media source were not covering Nature Boy and Carbonation? We weren't. America. America was not covering him at all. Not at all. And I couldn't figure out why. I could not figure out why he was not being covered in America, especially after Miss Maggie had went there and died. Miss Maggie went there and died. And nobody covered that. There was no outrage about that. There was no outrage about this 59-year-old woman who went to this SDX cult thinking she was going to be healed from her heart disease, and she ends up dying. But oh, wait till I tell you what they did to her body after she died. It gets worse. Not only did she die, but they disrespected her afterwards. So Nature Boy said it was his social media presence that made Miss Maggie join. Because they asked him, well, what made her join your organization, and how did she find out about you? Nature Boy says that Miss Maggie found out about him and Carbonation through social media. That's how he found out. That's how she found out, was through social media, and his teachings compelled her to join the movement. All right, we're going to stop there and take some more questions. Yeah, this is a lot, y'all. Okay. Denise says, I'm driving, I can't chat much, but I'm going to have to send you some info about him. Okay. Info, I'm going to pick up Dory. Okay, tell Dory I said, hey, where y'all going? Tell me where y'all going. I might want to go. Okay. Yes, I uploaded the video onto my channel. Really? Where? Is it on this? If we click on here, will we see it? I'm going to share it on my channel. Send me the link so I can share it on my channel. Okay, y'all. She said she got another one on her channel. She did a video. My cousin did a video. We didn't even know. She didn't know I knew who he was, and I didn't know she was talking about it. Send me it, Denise. I had recorded it when I went live and uploaded it on here about 3 years ago. Okay, so I'm going to look on your channel, and then I'll share it. Yes, everybody got it. And see, I think that's another reason why they keep going back to each other, because they feel like, well, he got it, I got it, we might as well just have it together, you know? Because I can't understand why they keep going back to it. They like it, but they like it. They like this intimacy, this group intimacy, this filming, this intimacy, this being famous for being intimate on the internet with Nature Boy. They like this. They like this. They truly enjoy this. They truly enjoy it because once you see them being able to walk out of this house, once you see there's nobody keeping you there, once you see Nature Boy telling them, I don't care about you, you can leave whenever you want to, and they stay, and then they come back, and even the men, Nature Boy stood there one day and told them, I kid y'all not, to rub his feet. He said, rub my feet, just like that. You should have seen, it was about 15 dudes. Maybe, yeah, about 15. 15 dudes, young black dudes, 20 in their 20s. They all ran up there, dropped what they was doing, because you know they move, they can't move until we tell them to. So they ran up there, start rubbing his feet, massaging his feet. Can y'all believe that? Rubbing this man's feet. And he got him on camera saying, I told y'all, they do whatever I tell them to do. Yeah, they want to do this. For the RICO Act, continuing a criminal enterprise. When all else fails, they'll put that. Oh, now that one, yeah, they might. Now that one they might, because he was clearly the leader. He was clearly, and he clearly still is the leader. But see, now that he's been in jail, they're saying he's been threatening people, you know, trying to intimidate witnesses. He needs to just be quiet at this point, but he's not, because he's a narcissist, and narcs think they're God. So he's not going to be quiet. So he's been trying to get people to make Velvet be quiet, to make the other girl stop talking, you know, but he needs to just be quiet. Yes, okay, I'm going to check it out. Okay, I'm going to get it when I get off of here. All right, so let's go back, y'all. So this is what happened. Now we're going to talk about what happened to Miss Maggie. Okay, this is what her daughter said. This came from an interview that her daughter said. Her daughter done. So Magdalena Silva passed away June 26, 2018. She was in Chiapas. Is that how you say it? Chiapas, Mexico, at the time of her passing. Miss Maggie joined Carbonation in April of 2018. So she was there for April, May, June, 2 months before she passed. Miss Magdalena Silva, according to her daughter, was traveling, left their home, and started traveling around Central America with a U.S.-based group led by someone by the name of Nature Boy. She said that's all she knew, is that his name was Nature Boy. She arrived in, I think it was Belize with them, in April of 2018. Again, she said by the end of June, her mother was dead. She said she received a phone call in the middle of the night from Eligio Bishop stating that her mother had passed away unexpectedly. She asked Eligio what happened. Eligio said he didn't have time to talk about it. Okay? We had things we had to do, and we don't have time to talk about this right now. We need to handle this situation. So she hung up the phone. Little did she know at that time, Eligio was recording her and all of the other family members that he called because he had Miss Maggie's phone, remember? So he went through Miss Maggie's phone, calling family members and friends, recording them. They didn't know that at that time to let them know that she had passed. Miss Maggie said, her daughter said, we don't talk about this much because I didn't see much from her family on the internet, right? Her daughter said, we don't talk about her mom much because it's painful. And I know because someone who has lost their mom, it is extremely painful to talk about your mom, especially if it happens unexpectedly. You know, you just, you don't want to talk about it because it just brings up that pain. So they don't talk about it because she said it's too painful and they're not ready to deal with this situation emotionally right now. But her daughter did explain that she felt like she needed to move forward and talk about these things so people would know exactly what happened. So she explained in July of 2018, she contacted the Honduran chancellor who was in Mexico. Okay. Now she says she contacted him, even though she was with a US based group, she contacted the Honduran consular. She had to because her mom, remember, was a Honduran citizen, not a US citizen. So according to the report, Miss Maggie that Eligio had sent them said that Miss Maggie had passed away from heart problems. But her daughter wanted to know, but what caused the heart problem? She said usually something will lead up to her mom having the heart problem. Like it doesn't just start like that. Like there's days to this buildup. So she said, what happened before that? Again, Eligio didn't answer. Eligio told her, we're busy. We got to get this settled. We can't talk about this. So this to Miss Maggie's daughter was a problem because they were refusing to share information with her. It got worse, okay? They were refusing to share information. They were refusing to share whose name was on the police report. They said they did a police report, right? They filed a police report about the death. Her daughter said, well, what's the officer's name that you filed the police report with? They couldn't give a name. She said, where's the office where you filed the police report? They couldn't give a name. So these are two-time instances they said they filed reports. They asked them for names, but they could not give a name. Again, they asked him, can you tell me what happened the morning my mom passed away? What was she doing? How was she acting? Because she said, the daughter explained again, that when her mom gets sick with heart, it doesn't just happen like that, okay? She said her mom gets sick and it's like a build up to it. She starts getting sick. She said, what was she doing before then? How was she acting? Again, no one at Carbonation would answer. They would always say, oh, we're busy. We have to get these things situated. We can't talk about it. The next thing, the daughter was having trouble getting her mother's possessions. Now, this is really, really, really just like all I could think about was grave robbers back in when the movie Ebenezer Scrooge. Remember Ebenezer Scrooge, the movie Christmas Carol, when they robbed the graves? This is what I thought about. This just sounds like a grave, that they were grave robbers. So listen to this. So she said she was even having difficulty getting her mother's possessions back. So after her mother had passed away, she had jewelry, she had clothes, she had a passport, she had ID, she had credit cards, she had a cell phone. Carbonation refused to give her family any of her belongings. They weren't giving her anything. They refused to give the daughter anything that belonged to her. Now, this is the part I couldn't understand. Why wouldn't you give her any of the belongings? But then I remember, this is part of what you do when you come to carbonation. You turn over all your possessions to Mr. Bishop. You turn over all your possessions to him. So that's what she had done. And they weren't giving him back. He was not giving them back under any circumstances. So he flat out refused. He told her mother, he told the daughter, he wasn't giving her back, giving the possessions back. That's what he told her. Remember what I told y'all earlier? He said to quit contacting him because your mother was dead before she came here and you're dead. So quit calling me about some stuff that doesn't even matter. Yeah, that's what he told her about her mother's belongings. Then again, the daughter said again, she went to the chancellor of Honduras in Mexico. She filed a report of theft because she said that's theft when you take a dead person's belongings and you don't give them back. That's theft. So she filed a report about that. This is another thing that she found completely shocking and unbelievable. When Nature Boy and Carbonation took her mother's body to the morgue, her mother had nothing on. Her mother's body was completely naked. They dropped Miss Maggie off at the morgue with nothing, completely naked. I can't believe they were that disrespectful to her body that they did not give her any clothing. The daughter said she felt like her mom was not sleeping with nothing on. She felt like her mom had been stripped of her belongings, like they had took her mom's clothes off her and then took her to the morgue because they wanted to keep whatever she had. Now think about that. According to the report that she filed with the chancellor, the Honduran chancellor, they had stolen her clothes, they had stolen her credit card, they had stolen her passport, they had stolen her cell phone. They were refusing to give back anything that belonged to her. Again, the report said they had contacted Mr. Bishop several times about the mom's belongings, but he refused to give them back. Another thing, she wanted to know what were the people's names so she could put in the report that she were talking to. They all had names like True, Velvet, Nature Boy, Rambo. They all had nicknames. Because remember, Nature Boy gives you a nickname. You don't use your real name. So these people were all going by nicknames. She asked them for her report. She said, would you all please? They were talking about, how much they loved her mom. She said, who are the people that my mom hung around with daily? Who were my mother's friends? And they said, well, we all were. She said, what are your names? They start giving her these fictitious names. She asked them, what are your real names? Because I want to put your real names in this report. They refused to give her the real names. All the people who were there refused to give her real names. When she asked Nature Boy, who was she around days before she passed? What was she doing again? She's asking him the same thing. Because she's probably suspecting the same thing that I was suspecting, is that she wasn't around anyone, that they weren't checking on her, that she fell ill, and they let her lay in that room. This is just what I think. This is not what someone said. This is not what I read. This is what I think. That she got ill. She fell ill. Okay? She fell ill. They probably told her, just go ground yourself. Because they really had no interest in Mama Dia. Mama Dia was 59. They're in their 20s. 20-year-olds have no interest in a 59-year-old. They really don't. Even in the videos, she just looked like she did not belong there. They might have acted like they were welcoming her there, but they weren't welcoming her there. Wait till I tell you the things that she complained about. We haven't gotten to there yet because she had started complaining. So I'm thinking the same thing her daughter was thinking. That you didn't even check on this lady. You hadn't seen this lady for days. That's why you said go check on her. And it sounded like she was in a tent. From the way they were talking, it sounded like she didn't even sleep in like the house. It sounded like she slept in a tent because it sounded like Nature Boy said, somebody said, go check on Mama Dia because they hadn't seen her. And then the boy comes back and said, oh, it ain't looking good for Mama Dia. That's what he said. It ain't looking good. It ain't looking good. I know everybody grieves different. I know everybody reacts differently. But to say it ain't looking good, I just thought that was kind of like cold-hearted and callous. Like, we don't care. We don't care. That was the whole vibe I was getting when it came to her, is that we didn't care, and what is she doing here? That was the whole vibe. So after that, she says, the daughter go on, she continues. She talked about how he recorded them. I told you guys that. They weren't willing to give any names. They refused to give names. They refused to give officers' names. They refused to give any detailed information that would help them find out what really happened to her mother. They won't tell her what happened. The day she died. She asked them the day she died, what was she doing that day? What was she doing that day? You see how many times I've said that? This is how many times she's asked Nature Boy and Carbonation, what was her mother doing up until the day she died? They can't give her any answers. They refuse to answer the question. They just refuse. They just flat out refuse. Because she said, usually, this is why I'm thinking they ignored her and they just let her pass. Because she said, usually when her mom gets sick like that, she needs some type of assistance. You know, like she gets weak, or she needs people to help her do things. So she's waiting on these people to say, oh, she was feeling tired. She was laying down a lot. She needed assistance. This is what I'm thinking. But they didn't say any of that. They didn't say nothing. They kept switching the subject, or they refused to answer because they did nothing to assist this woman. Nothing. After he got the money, after he got her belongings, he couldn't have any parties with her, any of the SCX adult parties with her. She was too old for him. So she had no use to them. No real use to them. And that is the sad and unfortunate thing about it. So he said, so she said they just ignored her. And she did admit, the daughter in the interview, she said, I do admit that my mom did say that she had stopped taking her medicine. But she said her mom would do that here. When she was here, she would stop taking the medicine because it made her tired. And so she said she would stop taking it for a while, then she would start back. But she said her mom always knew when to start back taking that medicine. And she said if her mother had no intentions on taking that medicine, then why? Listen, people, why would her mother take 2 to 3 months worth of medication with her if she had no intentions on taking the medicine? The daughter said the mother took 2 to 3 months of medication with her because she had all intentions on taking that medicine. All right. So the daughter felt like there was more to the story. Then she said, okay, the daughter, the mom, had no intention of going to Mexico. Her intentions was not to go to Mexico. It was to be with this group. And so when she told her mom that she was leaving to go to Belize, all right, she said she promised the daughter, that she would stay in touch with her because the daughter and her son the two kids did not want their mom to leave and join this cult. They did not. They were not approving of this at all. But the mother, she's grown. She's going to do what she wants to do. She said that she would stay in contact. That was the whole thing, that you're going to stay in contact with us, that you're going to post regularly on Facebook, and that we're going to know what's going on. Okay, we're going to constantly be abreast. You're going to constantly keep us abreast to what is going on. All right. So the first thing the mom said that she noticed, the post on Facebook changed. After they agreed, she left, she got there. She said the first thing she noticed was that the post on Facebook changed. Not only did the post change, she said for a while, there was no post at all. Then she said, after that, there were posts, but they were not posts from her mom. They seemed like somebody else was writing the post, because the posts were all about how wonderful Nature Boy was. It was not the normal post that her mother would make. All right. So then she says, this is another thing. When she was getting ready, when she had got to Belize, they thought this was odd, right? The mother had flew all the way to Belize to meet Nature Boy's crew. They were supposed to send somebody to pick her up. Well, guess what? When she got there, Nature Boy tells her to catch the cab, to find a cab on her own in this country she's never been in. She doesn't know the language. She doesn't know these people. To find a cab to get to where she's going. That was the first clue that you have no value in this organization, that we really don't care about you, because we don't even really care if you get here. That was the daughter's first sign that something was up with this organization, that something was not right. Okay. Then they're supposed to have this cooking show where they cook these vegan dishes and they share these recipes. Well, the daughter was like, something is up with this, because the mom called her best friend and she tells her best friend, first she told her best friend, send me my cooking pots, all of my good cooking pots, because I want to use them on the videos when we're doing these cooking videos, right? So she calls, Miss Maggie ends up calling the best friend back. And she tells the best friend, don't send me the pots now. So the best friend is wondering, why not? Why don't you want the pots? She tells her, Miss Maggie tells her, the best friend, that Nature Boy scolded her. Though she said those are the words her mom used. Scolded her for giving out the address to where they're located, because no one who's not a member, anyone who's not a member, they cannot know where they're located. So she was in trouble for letting these people know in the outside world where she was located. So she wanted to know if she could stop the pots from being sent there. But it was too late. The pots had, been sent. And when she got there, she was scolded again. She got in trouble. It was too late. The shipment was out. So another thing, she was not allowed to have phone conversations with people who were non-members. If you were a non-member, you cannot talk to people, because remember, what was the rule? What was the rule? You have to give up your attachments. You have to give up your attachments. You can't talk to the people. So she would sneak and talk to people on the phone. That's what I'm telling you. This is a grown woman. You see the grown woman, but the difference between the grown woman and the 20-year-old woman. And Nature Boy knows this. Mr. Bishop knows this. He knows I can pretty much tell these 20-year-olds what to do, to sit down, and they're going to do it. But this 59-year-old woman, she don't do what she want to do whenever she want to do it. She might let me control her a little bit, as long as she want me to, But as soon as she gets tired of playing this nature boy game, she's going to be tired of it. So she was getting tired of playing this nature boy game. So she tells her friend, she's sneaking on the phone telling her friend that she can't really talk to people. She doesn't like that. She can't talk to her friends freely. She can't talk to her kids freely. She can't communicate with the outside world freely. And she doesn't like that. So she tells her friend to make sure when we finish these conversations, you delete any text messages that I send you, and you delete where we've talked on the phone. Because she's scared. And these are the words her daughter used. She's worried. I'm sorry, not scared. She was worried that Eligio Bishop, better known as Nature Boy, that he was going to find out that she's been having contact with the outside world and that she was going to be in trouble. She was going to be in trouble. That's why the family and the friends feel like there's more to her death than what Mr. Bishop and Carbonation is saying. They feel like it's more to it than just that. They feel like her mother was pulling back. Her mother was seeing what was really going on there. And her mother was becoming enlightened and was turning away from Mr. Bishop and Carbonation. So they feel like something more happened, and Mr. Bishop is not saying what happened, and no member of Carbonation is saying what happened. So we're going to stop there and go look at get these comments. I'm driving. Okay, I'm gonna look for them. Okay, good. So send it to me. Let me see. I'm gonna look on your channel as soon as I get out there. Why didn't her children go check on their mother? Ain't no way my mother would have been sick, and I would have depended on anyone to do into. See, they didn't know. That was the thing, they didn't know, because she couldn't talk to them regularly. So that's why they're really upset, because she couldn't talk to them regularly and they didn't know she was sick. The last time the friend had talked to her, she seemed to be okay. She just seemed worried that he was going to find out that she was sneaking on the phone. But the kids didn't want her to go. You know, the kids was trying to talk her out of leaving, and she went anyway. It's just like when the first time I went to Nigeria, my kids was trying to talk me out of going. They were scared because I didn't really know people over there, and it was just like my first time going alone, and it was just a new experience, and they did not want me to go. They did not want me to go, but I went anyway. So it was probably like that. She went anyway, and they couldn't reach her. They didn't know how to reach their mother. At some point, they did not know how to reach her, because remember, he was in control. They had to give them phones to him. She would sneak and get her phone, and when you got your phone with Carbonation, okay, the goal of your phone was to make videos for Carbonation. You know, to make videos, social videos promoting Carbonation. So she probably was making these videos to promote Carbonation, but in between making videos, she was reaching out to her family and her friends. So that's why. I don't think she could just like talk on the phone and call them and say, he would know. There's no way he was going to go for that. There's no way he was going to go for that. So she couldn't go. Those people got high off. Can you get high off of heart meds? I don't know. Can you get high off of heart medication, y'all? Because it was heart medication. I don't know. But they didn't even give the meds back. That's what's crazy. They didn't even give her medications back. So I don't even know. I don't know what happened. I don't know. I don't know about heart medication. I don't know if you can get high off of them. But maybe you could sell them. Because that's one thing. Because look, that medicine that we have, our medicine is expensive. You probably could sell some medicine that we have they don't even have in other countries. So I don't know. I don't know what happened to, because they wouldn't even give the medication back. So let's see what happened to Mr. Bishop. So after she dies in Mexico, right? Miss Maggie's dead. She dies in Mexico. Her kids are calling the chancellors in Mexico, trying to figure out what's going on. They're calling the police. The kids are calling the Mexican government. The police is calling the Mexican police department. Everything trying to get somebody to help them with their mother. They're telling them about carbonation. Well, guess what? Mexico tell carbonation, you got to go. You out of there. Get out of there. You gone. So guess what? They get deported. In December of 2019, they're in Panama. They gone from Central America. They go to Panama now. They get deported again from Panama. Panama was their last stop in 2019 in Central America. The Panamanian Police Department and officials said that they were a threat to national security. So they deported him out of there. He came back to the United States, right? So they went to Hawaii. So they're in Hawaii. And when COVID started, I think that was 2020, they're in Hawaii. Do you know they got arrested in Hawaii for not wearing masks, not following the COVID protocol? But that was just to get them out. They didn't even want them in Hawaii. So he goes back to the United States, mainland United States. They come back, they're finally back. Now think how much money this dude gotta have. Nature Boy has gotta have a lot of money because he's not traveling solo. There's like 20 people who travel with him. So he's paying for all of their tickets and he's going to all these exotic places. So it's expensive. So I'm telling you, these people are giving Nature Boy all of this money. So where's Nature Boy now? So let's see what happened to him now. So Miss Maggie's passed away. He's left Mexico. The heat got too hot. He moved around some more. The heat got too hot because people are now calling the governments, letting them know Miss Maggie passed away because they seriously think he had something to do with that. They seriously think he had something to do with that because he's on tape telling Miss Maggie she doesn't need her medication. They have him on tape telling her that. So I don't know if you can hold him liable for that, but they have him on tape telling her that she doesn't need her medication. So by this time, people are calling government officials, people are calling around. People want Nature Boy arrested. Still, but he ain't arrested. They can't arrest him. They can't do anything to him for real. So guess what? Finally, the leader of Carbonation was arrested on numerous of charges, including rape, false imprisonment, sending sexually explicit electronic transmissions without consent. Those are his charges. Okay? Now, these charges, again, are against this lady. This lady who left Carbonation, came back to Carbonation, got mad because she couldn't be the queen of Carbonation. So she wanted to date somebody else in Carbonation. She got mad because she couldn't do that. And then she leaves and she makes all these allegations against Nature Boy. Not when the heat of everything was going on. Not when these two women were fighting each other to the death. She didn't say anything about it then. Not when my Mama Dia had died. And who knows what happened to her body and her belongings. Who knows why she was stripped naked. Who knows what happened to her things. She said nothing then. None of these people said anything. None of these people had an issue with what was going on. None of them. None of them still have an issue. It's just this one person who's mad because she can't be the queen. Okay? So, the leader of this alleged polygamous cult, like I told you, calls itself 3 God, and Nature Boy He's facing several charges this week. This is when I first got the article. This was April of 2022. This is this year, y'all. He's 40 years old. I told you that. He's got 5 charges. We talked about the charges. He's in DeKalb County Jail. He's there right now, as we speak, on these charges that I just told you about. All right. So that's pretty much where it stands with Nature Boy. That's pretty much where it stands with Carbonation. Carbonation is still, the women are still out, the men are still out. They're still defending him to the end. They're saying these are all lies. She just got jealous and she just got mad. I tend to believe that because, like I said, of the videos that I've seen. All right. So let me look at these comments and then we're going to do our little conclusion, y'all. Hello, how are you? I've been pretty good. How you been? Oh, that's okay. Just as long as you join us, that's okay. You can always watch the replay. So look, so we're going to conclude, y'all. And so when I was doing this video, and I was getting all my information together, you know, I like to talk to the people. I know that sounds strange, but I actually talk to the people while I'm doing it. So I'm saying, Miss Maggie, what is it that you want me to say? What is it that you want me to tell the people? What is it that you want these people to understand about your experience? And what continued to come to me while I was doing this was this message that people pretend to be sheeps, but they're really wolves. The message was, beware of wolves who come in sheep's clothing. And this has been the issue throughout this whole Repat journey. The whole Repat journey, all the research that I've done, all the studies that I've done, even back to the research in the Gambia, the studies in the Gambia, the studies in Ecuador, the studies in Mexico. All these studies have led, the study in Ghana, wolves. These people were wolves in sheep's clothing. People will befriend you. People will act like they care about you. People will act like they love you to get what they want from you on this journey. And once they get it, they discard you. They discard you. And if they can't get it, they're going to even discard you even more and even quicker. So that is the message that I kept getting while I was doing this story, is that you got to be careful, people. You got to be careful. Because when you're on these Repat journeys, your minds and your hearts are so open. We're so open and we're so willing to believe everything. Everything. And we're so willing to trust everybody. Even me. Even the people that I meet on YouTube. I'm thinking these people are who they say they are. And no, they're not. I'm thinking these people are really people who are friendly people. And no, they're not. These people are liars. These people are manipulators. These people are evil. These people are narcissists. And the narcissist is nothing but the devil in human form. And you people, we have to realize that. People who are on this journey, people who are open. Because to be on this Repat journey, you got to have your mind and your heart open. You got to have that. And when it's open like that, you make yourself vulnerable to evil and manipulative people. And what Miss Maggie's story is telling us is to keep your eyes open, people. Everybody's intention is not good for you. Everybody's intention is not good for you. They may smile in your face, but they're waiting to stick 6,000 knives in your back. They control people with drugs. Yeah, you know what? It did seem like Mr. Foreman, they was on some type of drug too. You're right, because They never said it though. They never said anything about drugs. But it seemed like they was on some type of drug. You know, it just the way they were acting was like, at some points, it seemed like they were on some type of drug. So you're right. That could be it too. But it just seemed like it was some type of drug because these people were not normal. Yeah, the message you got is yeah. It's just what kept coming to me is that you got to be careful. Message you got is yes, you got to be careful, y'all. You got to be careful. Y'all know what you meant, universal. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. You got to be careful. Because what I'm seeing, and this is not one story, two stories, three. I got stories for months, y'all, of this, of us dying, trying to find peace in our lives. Because that's what we're on, trying to find peace, trying to find happiness. We got to be careful. And we can't trust everybody. We can't trust everybody. We got to trust ourselves. And we got to trust our instincts. Because when Mama Dia started getting those instincts, when Miss Maggie started feeling like this is not right, she should have pulled out and let them kids continue to play. She should have pulled out because they didn't care about her. And I truly believe that they let that lady die. I truly believe that, y'all. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Wait a minute, I'll put that up in 1 second. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But I truly believe that. I truly believe that. Because why can't you say what she was doing before she passed? Why can't you say what she was doing the days before she passed? Why can't you say, oh, she was walking around, oh, she ate this, oh, we went to the store, oh, we did. Why can't you say that? You know why? Because they did nothing with her. They didn't care about her. She was a liability. She was in the way. We don't care about you. We care about what you can give to us. Once you give it to us, get out the way, lady. Like he said, your mother was dead before she got here. That's what that's what Nature Boy Eligio Bishop thought about Miss Maggie. She was dead before she got here. That's what he told her daughter. These are the people that we're dealing with. Y'all, we got to be careful. We got to be more careful. So I'm going to read these last comments, then we out. I looked at your cousin's channel. I see she has been watching the Carbonation for 2 years. Too bad about Mama Dia. Best to get where she fit in, where you fit in. Oh, all right, good. I'm going to go look on there, and then I'm going to share some of the videos. Because, yeah, I wish I would have known that. I would have looked on her channel and got some of her stuff. The food, let me see this, y'all. The food, 1 time a day, no sleep. It was easy to cook. Oh, you're right. You're right. That right there he's right. That's like a form of mind control. It is. He's right. But that would have been a deal breaker for me, Mr. Foreman, because when I get hungry, I get real mean. I get real mean and real irritable, and then I'm hot and I'm hungry. No, I would have been gone. But he's right. I can control you with food and sleep deprivation. So that's probably why they got him. They're not letting him out either. They are not letting him out. So I don't know. They might not get him for them 5 charges. But who's to say if they're going to put something else on him? Because that sleep deprivation, that is a form of mind control. Food, not giving people food, that's a form of control too. But then again, he's going to say they could have left anytime they wanted to. Anytime they wanted to. All right, y'all, that's all I have for y'all. Thank you again for coming out, for joining me. I'm not sure who I'm going to talk about next week. There's a lady in Panama that I really want to talk about. And I don't know yet. Let me look and see who we're going to talk about next week. But we're going to talk about another repat journey that turns into a repat night. So, all right, we're going to talk about this, and I will see you guys next week. Thank you for joining me. And I got a few more Gambia videos that I'll be putting out before I switch to making some more. Not if there's drugs in the food. True. Because he was controlling that. He could have told him to put drugs in the food. Yeah. He could have told them very easily to put drugs in that food. Because they would have done it. That's how much control he had over these people. If he would have said, put drugs in the food, they would have done it. No problem. Okay, you tell us to do it, we'll do it. It was just crazy. But check out Denise's channel because she got videos on there. And then I'm going to share that one that she had so you guys can get some more information about him. Because this is just something we got to look out for. Something we got to look out for. All right. Thank y'all for joining me. Thank you for spending this Saturday with me. And I'll see y'all next week. All right. Now I got to come over here. Oops. And turn it off over here. So I will see y'all. Have a great weekend.